Mr. President, distinguished guests, my name is Ralph Simon. Ayubawan, Subhasandavak, Mata Harima Satutui Sri Lanka Vata Peminima Gena. Not bad. Wow, Eka Harima Shuk. Mr. President, your whole new strategy, of course, of Smart Sri Lanka, which we read about early today as a pre-release for tomorrow, and also your support and your thinking in general for ICT development is so important. It shows such great leadership intellectually and politically. And also, as importantly, the World Bank has shown demonstrably with statistics by accountants that if you promote the creative industries raise GDP. Now people say Sri Lanka is in a fantastic position, very, very strong educational infrastructure, and the essence too was developed a few years ago when you yourself, sir, delivered a government development policy document called the Mahinda Chintama. Very, very important because it makes Sri Lanka a knowledge hub in Asia where TVET, very important, technical vocation and education training has a vital role to play not only in Sri Lanka but on a global basis because it helps reduce social vulnerability and also poverty in Sri Lanka. I mean, after all, what we want to do in Sri Lanka on the sports field, if we have great successes of people like Susantika Jayasinghe or Kumara Sangakkara, we should be having the same in terms of ICT. And I'm pleased to say that your executives who run ICT in this country are already showing that. So ladies and gentlemen, and sir, we thank you so much for hosting us. To the winners, congratulations. Keep thinking because the future depends on you to come up with great ideas. And if I can just close with one thing, one of the most famous works ever created in Sri Lanka is the Kau Silumina. We should be creating more Kau Siluminas, but digitally. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The WSA Global Congress is dedicated to innovation and the creative use of ICTs by selecting the world's most outstanding e-content with the target of turning it into shared knowledge among communities. Our association with WSA dates back to 2009 when we were invited to serve on the grand jury to select the world's best e-content that year. In that year, our first exposure to the WSA, Sri Lanka won 2 awards, and we have had a winner each year since then. We have also initiated the E-Swabhimani Award to recognize creativity in digital content at a national level along the lines of the WSA in 2009. We followed the same procedure and even designed our own selection software along those same lines. Sri Lanka's own achievements in the ICT sector has seen leaps and bounds with innovations in how the government delivers citizen services, increased investor confidence, and necessary infrastructure gradually taking shape. In this connection, all Sri Lankans will undoubtedly salute Your Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, our President who gave all the leadership to the ICT revolution in Sri Lanka since his assumption of office in 2005. Your Excellency, distinguished friends, this year, Sri Lanka improved her position by 2 places in the recently published Global Network Readiness Index, or NRI, which measures a nation's or community's degree of preparation to participate and benefit from ICT developments. With the 2-place improvement, Sri Lanka now ranks at 69th place out of 144 countries surveyed so far. We are now feeling that ICT is penetrating every aspect of our lives. As citizens, how we receive services. As government officials, how we deliver them. As policymakers, how we are inspired by it. There cannot be any government in the world today that does not embrace technology, for it sees technology's potency to deliver effectively, do more with less, and satisfy the people.
When the United Nations in the year 2000 were deciding to go into this process of the World Summit on Information Society, they did have an idea that the information society has to be more inclusive. And inclusivity meant at that time access, infrastructure, and the ability on any kind of place within Sri Lanka that somebody who is living in a village does not have to walk for 3 days to get to a telephone booth. That was 10 years ago. Today, with the mobile revolution, there's over 100% penetration in terms of access to the networks. And the issue today is, what is it actually which makes this society not inclusive enough? And that is the issue which we want to address and talk here. We have networks, we have devices, we have power. So access to technology might not be the key issue. And what is critical and becomes ever more critical is the ability of a society to absorb the benefits of technology. And we know that some of the richest countries in the world, some of the most developed economies, are the least well prepared for the absorption. Because what content actually entails is an attitude of learning, an ability to inquire, to open your mind, and to do more than just play around or measure fast speed and performance. And that is what it is. We are switching from the metaphor, Mr. President, of navigating in an ocean of products in the internet to something which is much more befitting an island nation like Sri Lanka. Because you have been already giving lighthouse and orientation, you have a compass. What it needs now is to grow on the tree of technology those fruits which are actually able to nourish people. 80% dropouts in high schools in Detroit. 80% of the children, the youth, the young people, the future of that country are dropping out of school having no hope. They have not learned how to strive. They have not learned what is a purpose in life. They have not kindled and rekindled their ambitions. They have not gained a sense what it means. When I traveled today, this morning at 6 o'clock, from the airport here to the downtown Colombo, I saw the roads lined with young people in white dresses, in blue skirts, waiting to pick up to go to school. This country has the opportunity to absorb technology and to make the best of it, to export the fruits, the digital fruits, far beyond what you have been dreaming about so far. Why? Because the infrastructure in this country is able to create something more than just a laboratory. Mr. President, when you have a country where the economics of using digital technology are so favorable to young people to develop new and interesting applications, you are creating actually the foundation for their future. Mr. President, when you spoke on the 25th of September this year in front of the General Assembly of the United Nations, it's the 68th Assembly, you gave a landmark speech. And you were looking and talking and asking and pleading for people to have something like an International Skills Day. That is very important because you were and you are committed to giving this country's youth and the youth in other countries, in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, and around the world, even the youth in Detroit, a future.
In this growing world of information and communication technology, digital content or e-content plays a very crucial role. In pursuing the e-development agendas of many countries, in which we strive to take the benefits of ICT to all segments of the population, valuable and innovative digital content is of tremendous significance. And as per the theme of these events, e-content are the rich fruits which are born out of the tree of technology or the tree of the internet. These have far-reaching ramifications, positive ramifications, if I may say so. They have the ability to transform the lifestyle of ordinary citizens and change the socio-economic landscape of a country. In this context, digital content cannot have a bigger importance in today's world. So in this background, hosting an international conference and exhibition on digital content of this magnitude here in Colombo is of great significance. For a small country, as you heard from the Secretary to His Excellency the President, Sri Lanka has been in the forefront of ICT-led development in the last few years. The country has had many successes and achievements in its e-development roadmap. The government of Sri Lanka has identified this sector as a key area to boost socio-economic development and has strongly promoted it, both at policy level and in implementation. It is noteworthy to mention that the foresight and the leadership for the e-development agenda of this country comes directly from His Excellency the President himself. It is through His Excellency's government's policy, Mahinda Chintana, Vision for the Future, that ICT has been streamlined into national development and been given a role of national importance. As an ICT-savvy leader who has recognized the acceleration capability of ICT, your commitment, sir, to keep ICT in the forefront of development as we move to a future of a knowledge society and a knowledge culture is laudable and something for which we are eternally grateful.
Mr. President, a country which is at peace is a country which can take and turn its attention to its development. A country which is at peace is a country where people can focus not just on communication, but on learning, on knowledge, and on the future. It's a country which will bring ripe and rich fruit in e-content. We want to give you this certificate of appreciation as a promise of us that we will not just watch, but participate, that we want to contribute and coordinate, that we want to share in the achievements of your country. Thank you very much for welcoming us here.